Arturo Hernández. I am the new FRAO coordinator. You know, I'm a Rosarito local, born in Tijuana, lived here up until junior high. Junior high. Sophomore year of high school, I moved to Carlsbad. So my grandpa was from Carlsbad. Grandpa's a Second World War veteran. Dad, Korea veteran. Dad was a professional boxer, born in Orange County, right by the power plant, actually, 1933. Power plant wasn't there. Dad grew up with around tomato fields. Because he tells me that was all tomato fields. He grew up with the Hunt brothers, the ketchup guys, you know, and let's see, he meets mom in that area, you know, later on, ends up married to mom. He'd never lived in Mexico before. So when he came down, he went through similar, you know, issues. It was interesting. My dad was frowned upon a little bit when he moved here because if you grew up in Canada, well, some people know, are you familiar with the term pocho? You're familiar with the term pocho. Okay, you're familiar with the term pocho. It's Connie, right? Yes. Would you like to tell us what you think of pocho? Okay. So pocho is sort of, but not too bad of a derogatory term for a Mexican American, especially one that does not speak Spanish. If you're Mexican and you don't speak Spanish, it depends in the environment you grow up in, but certain environments, Jesus Christ, you're better off dead, you know, if you don't speak Spanish, which is like the environment I grew up in. You know, so my dad ends up living here, moving to Mexico the first time in his life with my mom. He was supposed to be a professor at New Mexico State University. He was offered a job as assistant coach. He was a football player. My dad was big on football. He went to James Lake High School, San Jose. I think his jersey was number 33. I have a replica of it. His jersey was retired for life. He was a really good football player, co-captain of his football team. He played in the Junior Rose Bowl, another thing. I have a Letterman jacket. It was his 50th year reunion in my closet. You know, so anyways, he ends up moving here. My dad used to like to drink, you know, and he spent a lot of time in the bars in San Clemente, San Onofre, San Juan Capistrano, all of that area. And I guess he saw at some time, you know, the little dogs with the head that goes up and down. So instead of teaching, because he was supposed to teach, he had a teaching credential, he decided to start buying these dogs with the head that bounces up and down. Comes to Tijuana. My grandma was from Arizona, but she had moved to Tijuana. So he sees these dogs and he buys a bunch of them. And he puts them at all the bars because he knew all the bartenders in the area. So when he's done and run out of money from working, he's a teaching credential, but he's laying brick and making fireplaces because his buddy owned the business, you know, and he's paying him good money. So he got started in the pottery business, you know. So if you're familiar with what Boulevard Popotla is, you know, Boulevard Artesanal Popotla, there was 2 shops and they were really small and they weren't doing good. My dad comes far by Villa Italiana. There was nothing there, absolutely nothing in the 60s. The toll road was not there. So if you had chickens, the coyotes would come down and eat your chickens. My mom, they moved there in the 60s, and mom says that you couldn't sleep because the coyotes were so loud. He opens a pottery shop there in about 62. Everybody thought he entirely lost his mind. And before you know it, he had about 15 employees, and he couldn't shut the shop till 2 in the morning. So the reason why that section all became a pottery area is because of my dad. He used to sell the pots to Knott's Berry Farms, et cetera, et cetera. So I grew up in the arts and crafts, you know, arena, and I've pretty much been around it, kind of laid away for a little bit, but, you know, I've dabbled in school in Chula, tried law school here, didn't follow through, but I've been in the service industry a lot, you know, nightclubs, restaurants, limos, security for nightclubs, et cetera, a lot of things I could probably keep going. And, you know, I've always been a little bit involved in politics. I was involved in another political campaign a while back. And with the mayor, we've been going back and forth on different topics for the past, 20 years or so. And you know, she finally convinces me to join the campaign. I participate in the campaign, and you know, of course, you know, with my background, you know, being binational, I guess you could say, bicultural, et cetera, you know, growing up, mom spoke to us in Spanish, dad spoke to us in English, you know, so the mayor's husband actually was the one that suggested that I take up on F.R.A.O. She wanted to have me somewhere else. I am glad I am not somewhere else, because they're different area, you know, that I wouldn't be happy with, you know, and in this area, I am happy in a certain way. I know it's not the easiest thing, you know, but one thing that definitely touches with me is, especially I was at the USBC meeting not long ago, you know, when I see an older lady with short white hair, I see my mom. That being said, it's one of the reasons why I would love to be able to help. Well, the reason why I chose, or we chose as a team, to not have a speaker answering so many questions back and forth, I guess, is as a, you know, an icebreaker for you and us. What I want to do is hear you guys out a little bit. You know, I've noticed in the meetings that questions get repeated, and sometimes the same question gets repeated in different manners, different ways, and I noticed that sometimes the answers get thrown around and are not precise and to the point, and it seems that they're not, you know, maybe very well answered. So one of the things that I would like to do, one is for us to develop a relationship with you, for you to become closer with us, to become closer with City Hall, maybe down the road for more involvement, get some of you in there maybe as volunteers in different programs, so that you become more familiar with the people running the city, et cetera, et cetera. They become familiar with you. You know their faces, and they know yours, you know. Create a sort of companionship and empathy back and forth, you know, so that somebody's seen you a couple times, they are more willing to help you out. You know, that's one thing. And another thing is I would like to create information, maybe even information pamphlets that are well explained as to where to go, get links, websites, etc., to have your questions answered in a better fashion. You know, questions that are always repeated have something very precise for you, maybe something you could take in your hand, maybe something you can read online, whatever it is that suits you the best. You know, I want to hear you out. I would like for you to help me, you know, help you, basically, you know, and that's the biggest issue. One thing in the list coming around, the attendance list, we forgot, but if you could add on there in any space close to the phone number or email what it is that you do for a living or you used to do, that would be great. I know in the future I will try to ask if there's people in journalism, digital marketing, in areas of the sort. You know, definitely we'd like to have contact with people there.
Thank you for watching our video. If you're planning on buying real estate in the Rosarito Beach area, make sure to give us a call. Have a great day, everybody.